All right, well, I got the first order of the day. So guys, this is how I use the apps. I've done videos like this before, but I keep going back to it because it's so important that how you use these gig apps is going to directly affect whether you make decent money or not. And you cannot, in my opinion, focus on trying to do these apps full time because the way these apps work, there'll be some good orders and there'll be a lot of bad offers, bad orders, bad rides, bad offers that you won't want to take that are not profitable. But if you think of yourself as I'm a gig worker and this is all I do, or I'm a Lyft driver, I'm an Uber driver, or I'm an Instacart worker, or whatever, and you're just out working Instacart or you're just out working Uber, you're going to have some really good hours and you have some really bad hours, right? And they'll average out to mediocre income. And now keep in mind too, gig working is not, super high paying. It should be part-time stuff. I mean, where I'm at, if I had no choice and it was just like, hey, look, you're a gig driver, in my area, I could make $8,000 a month. Now I have to work a lot, but I know I could do at least $8,000 a month. I've had months where I do $6,000 and it's not even full time. So I know I could do eight. And I could even have months where I could hit 10 if there's a lot of events in town or something like that. Now that being said though, this is how I typically use these gig apps. I'm in my office working. I have Instacart on, I have Walmart Spark on. And my rule is it's got to be at least $40 minimum before I'll consider it to take me out of my office, right? And obviously if I'm in the middle of doing something else, it doesn't matter anyway, but oftentimes I'm, just talking with creditors or going through emails. My point is my schedule is fairly flexible most of the time. If I have client calls booked, it's not flexible, but creditors are flexible because those are not done at a specific time. Sitting in my office, I see an Instacart $48. I click on it, it's gone before I even see what the details were. So that usually tells me it was probably a pretty good offer because it is gone. I was like, missed it. Before that, I saw a whole bunch of offers that don't meet my criteria, right? You just have to set your rules, set your criteria. And then, I don't know, about 20 minutes later, I saw this one pop up for 41. I hit it real quick. If they're over $40, I just accept them real quick because they're going to be gone. It's like Jeopardy, right? They pop it on the board. Everybody's seeing them. I don't know if all the drivers within a 10-mile radius see it at the exact same time. I don't know any of that stuff. I don't know how many other drivers are looking at it, but I know every Instacart driver that looks at an order that's over $40 is going to instantly get excited. I know that. But so you don't have really time to look at the details. So I just accept it. Worst case scenario, if it's bad, I just decline it. That's not something you want to do on a regular basis. But anyway, I click on it, and as it's kind of spinning, I'm looking. I see like 2 miles delivery. I see 10 items. So I already knew enough that I was going to take this. It was 2-mile delivery, and I don't really ever get orders for stores that are very far from me anyway. So I got accepted. I checked the batch just to make sure where it was because you don't want to get one, it's a 2-mile delivery, but that it could be at a store 20 miles from you, right? So you got to check that obviously. But no, it's actually at this AJ's grocery store, which is the closest store to my house. I started recording this on my street and I'm already at the light. The grocery store is catty corner right here. I don't even think it's 2 miles away. So it's a 10-item shop at this grocery store. Now this grocery store is more of a specialty store. So I would never do like $1 an item shop in a store like this, especially if it's a lot of items, because even though I've shopped it a few times, I don't know where I'm not that fast. I'm not efficient in the store. This app doesn't tell me where things are. You just have to find it. Luckily, it's a small store. And the more I do it, the faster I'll get. But 10 items, $40, and then the 2-mile delivery is actually back on the way to my house. In fact, I didn't really study it, but it might even be in my neighborhood. So it was $41, 2 miles out, grab 10 things, drive it back. If it's not in my neighborhood, it's really darn close. No, actually, I think it's one street down this way. So it's not in my neighborhood, but it's like 2 miles, and then that house is probably less than 2 miles from my house. So I'll be back to my house definitely within the hour, less than the hour. So, and then back to work, right? So you're not out here sitting in parking lots, taking bad orders because you've been sitting there too long. As long as you use these apps as part-time opportunities, and that's what they are, you won't feel compelled to take, $10 orders that you have to go get 20 items and then go deliver it 5 miles, things like that, right? If you're doing this full time and it's slow, you'll take bad orders and you won't make much money, because you guys, when you take a bad order, not only are you taking a bad order, but you're pulling yourself out of the pool to potentially, what if the next order would be one like this, right? And you missed it because you grabbed one that was paying half as much, that required 3 times as much work. All right, so you wanna use these apps as just part-time opportunities, know when to pull the levers. And ironically, I make more than a lot of gig workers make full-time, and I'm only doing it part-time. And because I'm only doing it part-time, my mindset around it allows me to say, no, that's not good enough. No, that's not good enough. No, that's not good enough. It doesn't matter to me if I have a whole day where I don't do a single order, a single grocery run, a single Lyft ride. That doesn't matter. In fact, I make less money doing the gig stuff than I do at my regular business. But I do it because I enjoy it and I like kind of figuring it out. And I really am enjoying doing these videos and helping people out. And it's something that I look forward to doing. So hopefully these videos are helpful. But I'm going to go in and do this shop. Oh, there's a bird on my car. Oh, get off my car. Like a big one. I hear it click, 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 click. I hate birds on my car. Hate birds on my car. All right, I'm going to go do the shop. It is 12:15. That's a creditor calling me right now for a client. Goodbye. Can't talk to you right now. It's 12:13 actually. My goal would be 10 items. I know this seems crazy, but my goal is to be back in the car at 12:45. You think 10 items? The store's not that easy for me, right? So I will consider it a victory if I can get these 10 items shopped, get checked out, and be back in the car at 12:45, have these groceries delivered by 12:55, and be back in the office by 1 o'clock. That'd be $41 for 45 minutes. Let's do it. All right, just got done with that shop. What time is it? Where's 12:49? So even though you say 10 items, how did it take you 35 minutes or whatever? There was, the one thing about this specialty store, they're out of things a lot. They're small. It's a small store. They don't have a large selection. So it is what it is. That's number one. Number two, when I opened it up, I could have swore I saw 10 items when I accepted it and looked at it. But when I started walking the store, it's 14 items. Not a big deal if I'm getting paid $41, 10 items, 14 items, tomato, right? So that's fine. But, that added a little bit of time. And, of course, I had to go to the deli counter. They were completely out of that meat that she wanted. They were out of turkey. Not just that specific turkey, all turkey. They didn't have any turkey. So, you had to communicate. And luckily, the customer was fairly responsive, fairly quick. But I had to replace the deli meat. Also, she wanted some potato salad. They didn't have the regular potato salad. They only had, so I had to communicate with that, replace that. I had to go to the butcher counter as well. Luckily, they had what she wanted. And then there was a couple of produce items that had to get replaced. Luckily, she had pre-approved some replacements, so I didn't have to communicate with her on that. But all in, and then checkout and everything, it was 35 minutes. Now, the one thing, there's some wine too, but nice thing about this store is they've got 1 or 2 people always in the wine section. The wine section is the largest section in this little grocery store, so that should tell you a bit about. The thing I do like about this store, though, is it's all high-end stuff. Like, everything's really expensive, so you tend to get higher-paying orders because most people tip a percentage of the order. So the one benefit to this store is that you can get a high-paying order for low items because each individual, there was a bottle of wine, she wanted a half bottle that was $32. they were out of that, but they had the full bottle that was 60 something dollars. So that was a pre-approved replacement. So that should actually increase my tip. Instead of 41, I bet you I get like 45 for this order, because that added another 30. But I think it was $255 was the total for this 14 item shop. So you get the good with the bad. You're not going to be as fast per item, but I'm getting paid probably $45 for a 14 item shop. I just punched in her house. She's 2.5 miles from the store. So we're going to go get this dropped off, and I'll probably be back home. It's going to take me about an hour, but my goal is $40 an hour. This is probably going to be about $45 for the hour. So I haven't even looked at trying to multi-app or anything. This run is so short from my house to here and from the grocery store to her house. It doesn't even make sense for me to try to get a DoorDash or something, because that'll just add time to my really good order. So I'm going to just knock this out, go back to the office, get back on the phone, start calling creditors for clients again. So, but that's how I use these apps. And this might be the only order I do today, right? If this is the only good order I see, it's going to be the only order I do. But that's because I'm not in a position where I'm trying to do this stuff full time, or I'm trying to rely on it, or I'm sitting in a parking lot just getting mad at the app because they're not giving me orders, right? Multi-app, multi-app, multi-app. Look at it as part-time income. If you don't have a main job or a main source of income right now, use the time while you're doing these gig apps to pay the bills. Use that time to find a more steady main source of income, whether that's a business or a W-2 job, whatever it is. But gig work is going to be dying over the next few years with autonomous vehicles coming out. Lyft and Uber are going to be the first ones hit hard by that. And then pretty quick, it's not far-fetched. Just think, why can't an autonomous vehicle pull up to Walmart and the Walmart employees put the groceries in just like they do for you now, and then the vehicle drives off, pulls up in front of the person's house, sends them a ping, your groceries are here, doors unlock, they come out and they get it with, they have a code or something on their phone, they unlock the door, get their groceries out. People that think you need delivery drivers in this day and age, you're going to be left behind. You need to start looking for other sources of income. I'm going to go make this $45 and go back to work. Stay safe out there.